that. We're live.
Oh man.
Oh no!
Snap.
Live,
Look at us.
live. Yeah, sure we are live undead.
Um,
Let's go with that. Yeah,
I'll take that.
cool. Anything you want to say beforehand, Chuck?
Welcome to the show. Cheers. That's what I got.
Stuff well said. Yes, yes. All right. Well, I'm in the hot seat tonight, running a one-shot game for this motley crew of kobolds. I think I'm just here because Chuck wanted some break time. So tonight we're going to play This Defiant Earth. It is a 1950s sci-fi schlock horror role-playing game by C. Michael Hall Productions. Available on Drive-Thru RPG. The GM's guide for this just dropped not too many days ago. We'll be using just the player's guide, which is plenty to run a game. I'm not even sure what's in the GM's guide yet. I'll be buying that later tonight. Product placement over. Ding. Yeah, so we're going to create players and have us a story tonight, all in one 2-hour session. With luck. So who are our players tonight? We can do plugs at the end. Just go ahead and introduce yourself, top to bottom there.
Sure. I'm Chuck, and I'm going to be playing Max Robinson. He's a surly mechanic, floating around late 50s, early 60s, vet of the Great War. And he's seen his shit, and as hard as he drinks, he just can't forget it.
Awesome. So we got a hard drinking vet. Okay. So Dan, did you come up with any idea? It's all right if you didn't.
Just the name so far. Since
right.
I knew we were doing creation on here, it's George Jorgensen.
George Jorgensen. Hey, okay, that works. Jake, what'd you come up with?
I came up with Marco Rossi, who's one cool daddy-o who likes to work with cars and put pomade in his hair.
He's a hep cat.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Gonna listen to some doo-wop and rockabilly later.
Nice. Jeremy.
I'm going to be playing Rex Start, Man of Action, Secret Agent Man.
Secret Agent Man. That is interesting. So we're, again, 1950s. We're playing in a little sleepy, small, little Kentucky city by the name of Possum Ruin. And Possum Ruin has only got two real things going for it. It's got a very small but mighty vocational school here where people can learn the manly arts of, like, fixing boilers and working on air conditioning, television sets, that sort of thing, and coal mining, because Kentucky. Exactly. So yeah, very small town, not very many people living here. So let's go ahead and make these characters. We got names. That's a good first start. So you guys have character sheets here. We're using Roll20 tonight. There is no pre-made character sheet, so I've just got everybody made up one. If you look at the bio and information page, you're going to see your basic things on there that we're going to fill out. So in this game, there are 3 archetypes, and when I say archetype, it's more your nature is what it's called. You can be heroic, supportive, or hapless. Now, that does not influence like your job or your profession or what you do for a living. It's just basically how you come across the film. As are you the heroic person that's always in the fists going forward, action all the time? Are you the supportive person that's there to help out the main hero, to give a little healing on the side, or to provide information? Or are you the hapless? The hapless is kind of like the sidekick or the person who always seems to mess up, but things end up happening good in the end. So that's the first thing, is you got to choose which of these natures your character is going to be. Now, each nature will determine how many points you get to spend in your attributes, your skills, and if you have a gift or a special ability. So let's just check with Chuck. Which of those are you thinking that this hard drinking, two-fisted vet's going to be?
I really feel like, the heroic is what everyone's expecting. So I'm going to go supportive.
Okay.
His fighting days are behind him. So now he just tells old war stories and gives sage drunken advice. maybe he was a medic in the war or something like that.
Yeah, it's perfectly good. And don't worry about doubling up on things. It's okay if more than one person is going to choose the same archetype or nature. And it's going to be expected with 4 of us here anyway. So you get 6 points, not supportive, 5 points to spend on your attributes, which are physical, mental, and social. Each of them start at 1 for free. And you've got 5 more points you can just kind of smear across there.
Okay.
Now, you guys will notice that next to each attribute, physical, mental, social, there are 3 keywords: nimble, strong, sturdy. For each of the attributes, just highlight one of those. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. And that just kind of gives a little bit more definition. Like, so if let's say your attribute physical, you decide to dump a lot of points in that, well, you could be physically strong, you can be physically nimble, or you can just be sturdy as an ox. So you get to choose one of those for each of the attributes. Good?
Good.
All right. Jake, heroic, supportive, or hapless?
Man, tell you what, somebody else can handle all the fist fighting and whatnot. I'll be waiting with the getaway car. I'll be the supportive guy.
Going to be supportive too. Okay, same thing. You get 1 point in each physical, mental, and social for free, and you got 5 more points just to spread around in there. Also highlight one of the 3 adjectives attached to each one of those attributes. All right, Dan, heroic, supportive, or hapless?
Boy, I feel like if we're going counterintuitive, I have to be the hero tonight.
I would totally be fine if my man of action was actually hapless.
Oh God!
I think that could be really fun. Like,
absolutely.
If we're doing total role reversal tonight, because I feel like hapless has gotten me written all over it.
Let's go heroic then, Dan.
yes.
All right. So for heroic, you get 6 additional points to spread around. Remember, you get 1 point in each for free. Then you get 6 extra points. Highlight one of those 3 adjectives for each one of those attributes. And Jeremy, going hapless tonight.
Yeah, I think it'd be funny to be the man of action, secret agent man who's actually pretty worthless.
Yeah. And, you still get 4 attribute points to spread around, including, not including the 1 free one you get in each one. So like if you threw all of those into just the physical, for instance, you would definitely still be a man of action. And then again, highlight 1 adjective for each one of those 3 attributes. Good?
Yes.
All right, back at the top, Chuck. As a supportive individual, you get 3 skill points. So if you look down at the skill list, you got drive, shoot, fight, survive, sneak, pilot, spot, science, medicine, build, fix, schmooze, bully, deceive, research, and then 2 others if you just want to define something that's not on there. You only have 3 points. Now, everybody defaults at 0. 0 doesn't mean you don't have the skill. It just means you're not particularly, well studied at it.
Okay.
A 1 or a 2 point in a skill means like you're pretty good at this. Pretty damn good. A 3 would mean people come to you for advice on that specific thing.
Okay.
All right. Jake, you also went supportive, correct?
That's right.
Same thing for you. 3 skill points. Put them on 1 on each skill, 2 on 1, 1 on the other, however you want to divide them out. Just because you've got a 0 doesn't mean you can't do it. Just means you're not particularly any better or worse than an average person. Dan, being all heroic like, gets 4 points spread amongst his skills as you wish. And then Jeremy, being the hapless individual that you are, have a mere 2 skill points.
All right.
All right. Back to Chuck. The last thing, as a supportive character, you have a gift.
Okay.
You start each session with an extra luck. You can share luck and spend down your attributes to help other characters. All right. So that means you're going to start with 4 luck. Everyone else starts at 3.
Cool.
The way luck works is it just adds, this is a D6 system. It's a pool system. You just roll a bunch of D6s. A 5 or 6 is a success. When you spend luck, it just adds an extra D6 to the roll. Attributes, physical, mental, social, do not figure into any dice rolling. What they do is you spend them. So you've got a temporary and you've got a maximum. So this is kind of like the currency to tell whether or not you're starting to get tired, fatigued, etc. Right? So every time you spend one of your points in attribute, each point you spend adds an extra D6 to your pool, but you don't get it back until you've had a good rest or between adventures. All right. So as a supportive, your extra gift is that you can spend your luck and spend down your attributes for yourself and other people. Jake, you got the same thing as a supportive. As the heroic individual tonight, Dan, you get no other gifts because you got manly attributes and skill points, so you don't deserve anything else.
That's okay. They will all be wasted.
Jeremy, the hapless character, is kind of interesting. Your gift. You can choose to automatically fail or fumble an action to add desperation to the pool. And I'll explain desperation in just a moment here. So what the desperation pool is it's a shared pool of dice that anybody can grab whenever they want to add to their pool. Desperation pool starts off with the number of players times 2. So you're going to start off with 8 points in the pool. Now I have a pool too, but my pool starts at 0. I only get points in my pool when you take more than 1 out of your shared pool at a time. So if Chuck took 2 points of desperation out to add 2d6 to a roll, that would add 1d6 to my pool.
Okay.
All right. And so the hapless individual, basically what you're doing is you're able to contribute to that shared pool that everybody can pull from.
Wonderful. I
Okay.
failed to set everybody else up. I like it.
Exactly. All right. So other things that are on here. We've covered your gift. We've covered your nature. Dramatic hooks. You get 3. These are things that just think of them as descriptors. If you remember playing Fate game that I ran a while back, those that were in it, they're basically either pithy sayings or just a short adjective of things generally that are not so good for you. Like Chuck, you mentioned you're a hard drinker. A hard drinker is a perfect example of a dramatic hook.
Okay.
Sometimes it can help you, but a lot of times it's a negative. Okay. So each of you are going to choose 3 of those. And if you can't think of 3, then we can write them in as the story goes and you get a more feel for your character. To go along with the dramatic hooks are an edge. The edge is one thing. So you don't get 3 edges, you get 1 edge. The edge is generally a positive thing. It could also be a description of your career. Like Jeremy, you said you're what was the description you gave?
Man of action, secret agent man sort of thing.
Right. So secret agent man of action could be your edge.
Okay.
Okay. And if that edge comes into play or that description would make sense for a role that you're doing, you can add a D6 into it. Dramatic hooks are ways that you can get points back, luck or otherwise. Usually if I tap them to make things worse for you. Sometimes they can be tapped to make things better for you too, though. They're just things there for me to advance the story along. Trauma and resolve. We're going to start at nothing on those. And everybody should start with a luck of 3, except for Chuck, who starts with 4.
And Jake, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, Jake too. Sorry. Yeah, you're both supportive. The next thing is your life dice. And this one I've got to look up because it depends on which of those highlighted adjectives you took for your attributes. Where is my... There it is. Rules. Yes, rules. We need rules.
Only barely.
Yeah, only barely. Pardon for a second. Lost my page.
Okay.
Well, to start off with, your vigor and vitality are going to be the same number, and the number of dice that you get
That's
are going to
your
depend.
physical.
Yeah,
skill.
your physical skill, but if you chose to be
Sturdy or willful.
sturdy or willful and mental, we'll add another dice. So, like if you have both sturdy and willful, you can add 2 more dice.
Okay. So mine is
3, 3, and 3. 3 for everything.
All right. And that is character generation, folks. So we're going to start off. It's a stormy, rainy summer night in Kentucky. It's a Friday night. Everybody is off for the weekend. Most folks don't work weekends. Y'all are gathered around a kitchen table in whose house?
I think as the oldest one here, maybe I've got a farmhouse at the edge of town, drinking in
All right.
cards.
Tin roofed farmhouse, little drafty, but that's good during the summer. Lets the wind in. You're gathered around a rickety circular table, playing a hand of poker. This is what you usually do late Fridays, going into early morning Sunday or Saturdays, where you often lose a good portion of your paychecks to one another. It's also a good time to get away from the wives, if you have any, and to do some hard drinking. All right, so you've been playing for hours now. Who was supposed to bring the booze tonight, and why didn't you?
Like that was probably me.
Yeah.
I mean, I was thirsty.
No, you were thirsty. Okay. So you drank it before you got there, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it was an accident.
Completely accidental. Is that alcohol
Accidentally
just
drank it all.
accidentally fell down your throat?
I feel you on that one.
Those lids should have been on there tighter.
That's right. There should have probably been more of them in the case.
So this has been a particularly dry night of poker playing then, as
For everyone
Chuck,
else.
what's the name of your character again?
Max.
Would you guys mind putting your character names in the Roll20 by your names? All right, Rex. So if you felt like sharing some of your booze collection, that's about the only booze that you guys are having tonight.
Yeah. I could probably share. I got your choice. Everclear vodka.
Hey, let's mix and match.
Sounds like a good idea.
Everclear flavored with vodka.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Cut the
there you go.
edge.
Perfectly. Next question is, who's been winning all night and why have you been cheating?
Ooh.
I didn't even know I was cheating. I'm just playing wrong, and I'm getting lucky.
All right. Yeah. So you've been cleaning up tonight. Completely hapless. You're playing new type of cards. Usually it's just straight poker. I don't actually know when Texas Hold'em came about, but so you're trying a new game tonight. You're playing Texas Hold'em, and you just don't understand the rules. But
Yeah.
dang, if luck hasn't shined on you all night, as
I
everybody
just keep going all in, even when I shouldn't, and somehow that's just made people fold.
Mm-hmm. Now, Rex, do you think Rex is wealthy enough to afford a television in the 1950s?
Maybe, but he's probably wasted it elsewhere.
Oh, sorry. I meant Chuck's character.
Max.
Max. Okay. There you go. Max.
He's probably got some old. Yeah, he's probably got a TV. It's probably some old junker or something like that that he, scrapped together.
Yeah, and you've got this just awesome array of metal connected to it for an antenna. And if anybody breathes wrong, you always just lose the signal for a bit. And that's just happened. And you were, listening in the background, is it playing real low as you guys are losing all your money to Rex. You catch a little bit of a news channel just as it comes in and out of tuning, something about strange lights being seen in the sky. The closest big city, probably call it Kingsport's the closest city. Next to you, bright lights, quickly moving bright lights being seen in the sky. People are all very frightened about it. Don't know what old military man like yourself might think of that, but it's like you catch that story in the background. And just as you're about to get up and adjust those rabbit ears one more time so you can catch the game, you're at the bottom of the ninth, last inning on the favorite baseball team, and you're just about to find out who won. The score was that close, and you go to adjust it, and then power goes out.
Oh, what the hell? I know I paid that bill.
Probably another
Well, hey,
squirrel
man, if the
on
Russians
ride.
are messing with all the lights in the big city, maybe they're messing with all the lights here, too.
I could see
You
it.
heard that news story, right? Is the only thing that could be doing that is the Russians, right?
Could just be a squirrel.
That's bombing raids, I tell you what. That's what I learned when them young kids went off to war.
Marco, what was your profession again?
Greaser.
Oh, that's right. you're a gearhead. You probably make some money working in a garage when you feel like working, which isn't often.
Yeah. Occasionally I'll bully squares for their milk money.
All right. Well, I imagine Max, being a war veteran and all, keeping that always be prepared motto at hand, has some candles nearby with definitely got some matches, because we all know everyone in this room smokes.
Everyone smokes. It's the
got to.
1950s.
Doctors say it's good for it.
Yeah.
You'd be done with not smoke.
Absolutely.
You light a candle, and rain is starting to really come down out there. Crack of lightning. Since you're in a farmhouse, probably don't. You probably just keep them just for your own, use. Don't really sell much, but your hens or roosters crowing out there, and it sounds like there's a fox in the hen house. But you just shored that up last week. There's nothing gotten in there, but boy, they're just riled up. Lightning cracks overhead again, and all that rain coming down on your tin roof is just like thunderous. Barely hear each other over the sound.
Yeah, that takes me back.
Artillery fire.
Hey, we need to get this old man another drink.
That's the best thing you've said tonight.
Well, your refrigerator just, ran out of power, so you got to drink it while it's cold.
Oh, crap.
Right.
Wasn't even thinking of that. Hey, come on, boys. We got work to do. This shit ain't going to drink itself.
It's a fine point.
You open your fridge, there's nothing in there but bottles of booze, some beer, and a bottle of ketchup. Because you're a bachelor. That's
Yeah.
what's in there.
Maybe some
some
sliced cheese.
Sliced American cheese, thank you very much.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, give me some of that ketchup and Everclear. Let's see how that goes down.
Oh, it was one of them French drinks, isn't it?
I'll color it anyway.
Hand it over.
Well, you're all in the kitchen, surrounding this refrigerator, looking at these very bare contents, and lightning flashes outside. And well, Max, you're off, off the main road. The only thing around you is hollers. These back end country roads. You got lots of fences between you and the outside world, but damn, there isn't a really shiny looking car out there at the second gate coming into your premises. And there's a man leaning out on it. He's got a rain slicker on, big brimmed hat, smoke in his face, and he's lighting it. Lights up just enough as a bolt of lightning cracks. You see the man's wearing sunglasses in the middle of the night as he lights up a cigar,
Suit coming
standing
to your
out
house.
there in the rain.
We got company, boys. I think it's the government finally come to get me. Some
Well,
of
I'll tell
them
you what, they get you, I get that car. Woo.
sounds like we got.
You're looking
hey,
at that.
Why don't we get him? Then you can still get the car. Leave me out of this, man.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, let's take the squares down a peg and steal their car too while we're at it.
Yeah, Marco, that looks like a Rolls Phantom. That's a nice car.
Only one guy came in that car.
Well, there's only one guy standing out, leaning against the driver's side door. You can't tell if there's anyone else inside.
Presuming that this is an old farmhouse, I probably got some old beat up shotgun, don't I?
Of course you do. Of course you do.
Probably more than one.
Yeah, that's a vet. I probably do, but I'm not going to tell you that. The government will come for him. I'll
I
grab-
imagine you've got at least a revolver, and you've definitely got a shotgun just for varmint shooting, if nothing else.
I'll grab my shotgun and I'll toss the revolver over to Marco.
Oh, sweet.
Who probably
Here
has a
we go.
switchblade. I mean, let's be fair. You probably got a switchblade.
That's
Even
right.
so, I'll take the gun. Absolutely.
All right. All right.
Give your frog sticker to one of them two. That way, at least 3 of us got something.
Yeah. All right, fine. Secret agent man, you take the gun. I'll keep the knife.
All right. I'll see. Is there like any sort of like signal that we might toss up, or like some sort of like, maybe like light a cigarette and kind of like cover and uncover it to kind of show like the equivalent of like Morse code, but with the lit end of the cigarette or something?
Is that to us or to them?
To them.
All right. You want to start doing that?
Yeah.
Why does everybody here call you Secret Agent Man, by the way?
Oh, because I don't like, I've told them I'm the worst secret agent ever.
Yeah, he's the hapless secret
I'm a
agent.
hapless secret agent. I told all of them, like, we get drunk and I've already admitted to all of them.
Yeah,
but the good news is
yeah.
nobody's willing to believe it.
Okay. So
It's the
you're doing
perfect cover.
You're doing some Morse code. What message do you send out as you cover and uncover your lights? Like the only other lights again are the flashes of lightning outside and that one lone candle that Max lit. What signal are you flashing with your lit cigarette?
Ready for action, sir.
Ready for action, sir. All right. Powerful light, like from a flashlight, just cuts the air between that kitchen window and that the man by the car, and he flicks it on and off several times. A bunch of Morse code comes by pretty quick. And I'm not sure that you're going to be able to understand it.
Yeah, I don't get it. I probably didn't even send them like, but nonetheless, even though I don't actually know anybody, like, it's okay.
Okay.
That's cool.
All right. Well, let's find out if you know it or not. Let's do the first roll of the game.
Oh, uh-oh.
All right. So at the bottom of the screen there, if you've turned on your macros, you should see a button that says roll me.
Oh, I do not have macros.
Yeah, make sure you turn your
on.
macros on. It should be visible to all the players.
Oh, yep. All right. Heard I roll and roll me.
You guys see it?
Yep.
All right. So right now, let's just have Jeremy do this.
Okay, I don't
You don't see it?
know.
Where's the thing to enable?
It's
Yeah, the
the,
little hamburger menu.
the 4 bars next to the settings cog
Uh-huh.
up on
You
the
have
top
to
right.
click where it says show macro
gotcha.
quick bar.
In
Yeah.
bar, gotcha. Yeah.
Show macro quick bar. Okay.
And then-
Click that.
All right. So it's going to ask you how many dice. Now, your standard dice is 2 dice. But first of all, you have a skill you think would help you to read Morse code.
No.
Okay. But you are, however, a secret agent man as your edge. So you're going to put 1 in for that. So it's going to be 3 dice unless you want to spin down one of your attributes.
Okay, so I clicked show macro bar, but I'm not seeing anything on the bottom of my screen. I'm
See
sorry.
the-
After you click show macro bar, you have to check the little box in bar
In bar. Yeah.
next to
Oh, the roll me.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go.
So 3 dice unless you want to spend up any of your currency.
Nah, I'll just do 3. There we go.
Okay. Now, when you rolled here, what it did is you got 1 success, so you understand what the Morse code is. The second die it rolled, it's a single D6. That's called the hero die.
Mm-hmm.
Ignore that die unless a 1 comes up.
Oh, no.
If a 1 comes up and you succeed, it means you still succeed, but some minor problem happens.
Okay.
If you fail and a 1 comes up on the hero die, well, that's a critical failure and something really bad happens.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
So 6 is fine. Nothing happens on it. You only need 1 success to succeed at anything unless it's contested. So you catch the Morse code and it's a good stream. It's like a sentence long. The thing is, you don't think it's directed at you. You're noticing that it's pointed at the window, but slightly up. And you're kind of reading it out aloud, I imagine.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
As you're deciphering it in your head. And it comes across like 3 or 4 people in here. Don't think anybody's going to miss them. Go ahead and take them.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh, shit.
3 or 4 people. Okay, so we got like 3 or 4 people we need to take out. Then nobody's going to.
They're talking about us.
they're talking about
What?
taking us, kid.
Oh. Oh, God.
You got an upstairs?
No, I got a root cellar out back, but that ain't gonna do us much good. I'll tell you what we need to do. We run out there, jump this guy, throw him in the trunk, and use that to negotiate with whoever he's signaling to.
Take them out before they can take us out. I like the
I
idea.
ain't going out there. It'll ruin my hair. Come on.
There
You
is
stay in
so
here and
much
wait
oil
then.
in that damn hair. It's like duck feathers, boy. Ain't no water hitting that thing.
Just sliding off, literally like water off a duck.
Nice.
Let's go.
Ready to go out
Yeah,
there and throw
let's
it
get
at
him.
Gotta
All right,
take the
you got-
bottle of Everclear with me, though.
Hey,
Pop
hey.
open the screen door. Guys are hit by a buffeting wind that it wasn't windy earlier tonight, but now it's just like a tornado out here. It's so windy. One of your chickens go flying about 5 feet up in the air.
Damn it, that's Dorothy.
I feel like I gotta like throw the door open, tip up the bottle, and then point at the guy at the car.
Yeah.
There's a crack of lightning, and the man by the car was there, and then your eyes adjust. The guy's gone, the car's gone, but the light from that lightning just stays. It flashed and then it just stayed, and you look up and the sky's lit up like sunlight. Rain still falling, wind is howling. So bright you can barely see. You're covering your eyes. And each of you are surrounded in this glow. This tube of light surrounds all of you.
I knew TVs were bad.
All right, now whoever's out there, you better know if you came here to kill us, you'll never take us alive.
As you say that, you're suddenly lifted off your feet, pulled into the night sky. The wind buffets
They're
around.
taking
you,
us
the rain
alive?
continues. You black out for a moment. You wake up soaking wet. Well, except for Marco's hair, which is completely dry. You're in a kind of warmish room. It's pitch black. Can't see a thing. Some moaning coming from the corner. Could be any one of you. Could be someone else. Can't
So I got
really
my
see.
bottle in my hands.
You had everything you walked out of the door with. So you
Perfect.
still got your shotgun, your revolver, whoever's got the pig sticker, bottle of vodka to Everclear.
Mm-hmm.
So, you said we're in a room?
You guess you don't feel the wind. You're definitely not outside. It's pitch black, and whatever you're sitting on feels kind of concrete or metallic. It's very firm. Doesn't give.
I'll get to
I
my.
think the liquor's all right.
It's a godsend there. I'll
I'm gonna
slowly
look around for something shiny.
There you go. Slowly, I'll stand up. Maximum effort, knees screaming against me. Oh man, I have to. And then start
It's
wandering, poking
another old man
around.
day.
Because it
right.
is pitch black until
Probably just strike up a match. I mean,
strike up a match, and you're in what looks like a cell, maybe 10 by 10. Although one side of it, like where there'd normally be bars, it's just shimmering air.
oh, they
There's
did
a
take us
corridor.
alive.
It's a corridor behind it, but it's really dark. Your mat doesn't go that far. And there's some more people in here other than just the four of you. There's a woman. You think that's Charlene down by the gas stop. She's a waitress there, and she's huddled up, and she's covering her head and her eyes, and she's just shaking like an infant and moaning. It looks like they got her, and she's still in her nightgown, soaked to the bone. And then there's Juarez over there. He's the guy that he runs the local grocery store. Nice guy, big man, big strong man in his 30s. He's sitting there just cross-legged, just kind of looking at you guys. Doesn't look like he's got a worry in the world.
Must be hitting some good stuff there before he got taken away.
Light get you too?
Oh no, I chose to walk into the light.
Okay.
That's a
Guys
choice.
on the reefer, clearly.
No, I'm sorry. I don't have any reefer on me.
Are you sure?
Come on now, Marco. You know that's the devil's lettuce.
He pats himself
Whatever.
down
I don't go
as
to
if
church.
pats himself down as if maybe he's unsure. He says, "Got a pack of Lucky Strikes if you'd like." Tosses you the pack.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, let me see that match. I'll light up a cigarette.
What you doing over there, Charlene?
She just continues to moan like she's not aware of anyone else around her.
Maybe I'll wave the bottle of liquor around in front of her for a second.
She's not even looking. She's got like her head and hair and everything just kind of bowed down under her hands. She's just kind of shaking the corner in a ball.
There's no need to be nervous. Got this big, strong lad right next to you, and you got a freaking veteran over there. We've got this under control. You're fine. Don't worry.
It just sounds like you're trying to console her. So give me a roll for that.
All right.
Got any skill that would help in that? Go ahead and add it to it.
Nope. And I would like to fail.
I would
like to fail and just make it worse and add to the desperation.
All right.
Fine, we're just in a cell.
Everything's
all together.
fine.
You
No
just
idea where we're
want
at.
a minor failure? Like you just fail, nothing spectacular? You want a plot of impacting failure?
I want to somehow, like, in my attempt to make her feel better, just make it so much worse. Like, look, we all saw the light. We know that they said nobody's going to miss us. So it's all on us or else we're doomed.
All
But
right.
the good-
So what we'll do with that then, we're going to call that, we'll do that as a +2. Okay. And here, I'm going to go ahead and just to make this easy here, well, that's not all that easy. I'm going to put 10 dice out here. And whenever you guys want to pull from this pool, we'll just remove it off there and that'll just show us how much you got in your pool. So this includes the 8 you guys start with and the 2 that just got generated. So she says, "What do you mean nobody's going to miss me? Little Sarah Bell's still at home. She only 5 years old. Who's going to look after her?"
What? See, that's young enough that if something bad does happen, she'll have forgotten about you by the time she grows up.
Yeah, this just sends her off. Yeah, she just starts screaming now instead of moaning. And she pulls out this long 12-inch butcher knife she must have grabbed from her kitchen before she came out. She just starts waving it in the air. "You just stay over there, you horrible man."
I'm just trying to help.
Yeah, you horrible man. You tell him, Charlene. Yeah, no problem. Here you go. And I'll take off my leather jacket because of course I've got one.
Of course.
I'll put it over her shoulders.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. So since Jeremy chose to fail and fail spectacularly there, though, that's not going to calm her down. But she lowers the knife just a little bit to give you that false sense of security. As you step in, you take your leather off, removing your protection, and as you step in to drop that over her, she lashes out with that butcher's knife. All right,
Oh, she's crazy.
all right. So let's see here. She's going to roll 3 dice. Okay, and she's going to get no successes.
Boy.
So you don't even have to roll at that point. So you take a quick step back as you drop the leather jacket kind of over her as she whips out with that butcher knife.
I don't think she likes you, Marco.
She grabs your leather jacket though, and she just kind of clutches it to herself.
Yeah, all right. You settle down there. Settle down now. If anybody's getting cut, I'll be the one doing the cutting.
The other man says, "Well, you see, the problem here is that Charlene's just not accepting her fate."
What exactly do you think our fate is?
Well, we're going to be saved.
Saved from what? By who?
We're going to be saved by the evils of this world. You see, they've come for us. They've got a plan for us.
And it starts by putting us in jail.
He kind of shrugs. Well, it's just until you get educated like I've been.
Have you been
still
on this
here.
before?
What the?
No.
Yeah, what
I
makes you
walked into the
expert
light
here?
earlier tonight, and they explained everything to me, educated me, let me know what's in for humanity, and that I was one of the chosen few to be saved.
What did they tell you?
Oh, they'll let you know soon enough. They'll be coming soon.
Well,
Oh, you're still
yeah,
in here
who are
with
they?
us.
Where are they? Why are you still here if they told you everything?
Well, it's like Noah's Ark. I mean, we got to collect enough people. We got to save enough before they go.
Well, if we're going to bring some more dames in, can we trade Charlene here for one a little less knife happy?
Charlene didn't take to her education. She resisted it.
Oh,
I recommend for you boys not to resist.
well, that ain't gonna fly. I'm just gonna go now, and I'll.
Yeah, there's like, you're in a box, but one end of the box is just completely open. The only thing odd about it is just the air kind of shimmers in front of it.
Yeah, I'm just
You see a corridor.
gonna walk for it.
All right, you're gonna walk.
I know what's gonna happen, but there's no way that Max would know. So
Yeah.
just
Right,
gonna
okay.
walk for it.
Okay, so here's what I want you to do. I want Max to roll me 3 of your life dice.
All right. Let's see. Just 3d6.
Just to roll 3d6.
3,
All right,
6,
two
5.
two successes actually.
Okay.
So you feel there's your hairs on your arms and just on your beard, because I'm sure you got one.
Oh yeah.
Just kind of stiffen right before you hit. You saw it looks just like air, maybe like gasoline shimmering in the heat, and then you hit it, and you were just thrown back like a huge bolt of electricity just ran right through you. It was a little bit of a shock, but you're made of pretty stern stuff. So that was 0 damage
Okay.
attack that would have taken vigor from you. Vigor is basically you got killing damage or lethal damage, and then damage that just kind of stunned you. This would have just been stun damage, but didn't even take that. So you don't lose any of your dice.
Okay. Well, that's a fucked up doorway right there. Marco, why don't you go stab that thing with your knife?
Nah, I'm good. Your hair's
Hey.
looking pretty funky. I don't want anything to happen to mine.
Captain threw some bits on there. We'll say every 100 bits is another D6 you can add to a pool that you can use. We'll do it that way.
Cool. Well, that didn't work. Dan's character, because your name's not set in Roll20, so I don't remember what your character is named.
What do you mean? It should be said. It's on my.
Change your name in the settings
my
cog.
name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Why don't you? I hate to say it, it's blasphemy, the words that are about to fall out of my mouth, but why don't you splash some of that good stuff there on that thing? It done shocked me. And one thing I learned working on tractors, if you get real mad at the spark plugs, you just douse them in water.
I'm gonna take a swig first and then spit it out so I can at least taste it before
Those
I
would
get
be
rid of
diesel.
it.
They wouldn't have spark plugs, would they?
Right. All right. Yeah. You take a big squig and you just spit it out.
I cry a little bit, but yeah.
All right. Well, the water hits, or the
I use the
alcohol
vodka
hits
for
this shimmering field, and it just erupts into flame, but it seems to have shorted it out. That kind of shimmer in the air is gone.
There
Good.
we go.
Why don't you lead the way for us there, buddy?
They learned you something good there.
So this has been a few minutes. So I'm assuming that Dart, you're just lighting like one match after another because there's no other light around.
Yeah. I mean, while we've got things to do, probably lighting a match while we're not doing anything. Maybe not. But
Okay. Yeah. So who's first to step out?
I will boldly go where no me has gone before.
All right, Dart. You take one step
Bottle up
up
again.
that
one
George?
step beyond where that shimmering curtain was, and a floor tile about a 5-foot section square lights up underneath your feet.
Fancy. Do I see
It's
anything
about
else?
equal to a lantern glow.
Can I see anything else?
Corridor running east to west, all made of the strange kind of gray black metal.
Go to the left.
Always left.
Yeah, I don't see. Yeah, let's go left.
All right. Everybody piles out. And what you find is as you start walking to the left, every 5 feet of like a new tile glows under your feet as you go. So you got a little bit of ambient light around you. If you string out in a line, you'll light up more of them. But it seems as soon as the last person is off of a 5-foot section, it just stops. Light just kind of dwindles away.
How wide is this hallway?
How wide is the hallway? You can walk maybe 2-3 people deep. So, 9-10 feet wide. Ceiling's a little low. Ceilings are about 6 feet. So anybody particularly tall might have to stoop just a little.
All made of the same stuff. Like if I touch it, does it glow?
What, the ceiling or the walls? Yeah. Ceiling?
Any of it. Yeah.
No. It feels warm though.
Strange.
And there's you pick up a little bit of a vibration through the metal as well, just like it's humming. Don't hear it, but you can definitely feel it when you reach out and touch it with your hands.
So I like go up to a wall and like put my ear up on it.
All right. You go up to a wall, and as you get your head really close to it, the wall just kind of turns transparent, and you're looking into a room. Bobby Joe, head cheerleader at the high school, strapped down into what looks like a surgical bay with these metallic arms that are coming out of the ceiling, and they're cutting her. They just removed an ear, and it's just dropped into a little cylinder of liquid. And she looks like she's awake. Her eyes are moving around. Mouth is wide open like she's going to scream, but her body doesn't move. The only thing moving are her eyeballs. And she stares right at you, Dark.
Well, maybe I can try and get her out of this.
Bobby Joe.
I mean, maybe I'll splash some more vodka on the machine. It's worked for us so far.
Right. Yeah. So it's just you were leaning up on the wall to listen. It just as your head got closer, it turns transparent. So as you back up just a little bit to splash it with alcohol, it just goes opaque again. Just looks like another piece of metal wall.
All right. You all keep an eye on me here. I'm going to go through whatever this is and see if I can do something here.
You got it.
So I'll try and step through it and.
All right. Yeah. You bang your head on what feels an awful lot like really dense metal, but it does kind of turn transparent again as you got closer to it.
Oh, so I can't actually go through it?
Doesn't seem like it can.
If I get real close, can I see like another door or something?
You don't actually see any doors. The hallway is just a smooth gray black metal that just continues to go off to the left or turn around and go to the right. But otherwise, you don't see any openings at all.
Start pushing on it.
Start pushing around. All right. Other than this 5-foot section that starts about your middle of your chest up to just about eye level, turns transparent. But that's it seems to be the only panel that's reacting to you moving around at all.
Like some fancy window or like one of them.
If I knock on it, is it actually metal or?
Feels like it.
Yeah, man, I was gonna say maybe one of us want to shoot it, but if it's metal, that wouldn't be any good.
Yeah, I agree with that. Let's not shoot it. Let's keep our hands on the wall maybe and move along. Maybe there's other like two-way mirrors like this one or whatever you call it.
All right, so you just kind of move along.
Yeah.
Trail some fingers along the walls as we go.
Yeah, if any of us have like longer fingernails, maybe kind of drag them and see if at some point a fingernail catches on something.
All right,
yeah, maybe.
So you're doing this, and it feels.
Oh, I'll do that
smooth.
with my switchblade.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's perfect. So as you're going down, you're noticing the switchblade. At first, it leaves behind a score on the metal, but then the metal just kind of seals right up. It's like you're cutting this furrow through Jello, and it just sealing itself up right afterwards. But it's perfectly smooth until you hit a piece that's not. And then Marco, as you turn to check it out, there's this swoosh sound, and the door kind of slides open, and in front of you is this little gray person. It's about 4 foot tall. It's got a big head and huge eyes, a little bitty diminutive frame. In his hand, he's got a tray of all kinds of little vials and liquids. So I'm going to have you guys do what's called a terror check here. This is definitely not something of this earth. So terror check is 1d6, but you get a bonus 1d6 if you have either the willful specialization under the mental attribute. You can use luck, anything in your desperation pool, or spending your attribute points as well.
Okay, so one base, one for
base.
willful.
And then if you want to spend luck, anything out of the desperation pool that you all share, or if you want to burn down any of your attributes that you think would be helpful to keep you from losing your crap.
Well,
I'm going to spend 1 luck.
I'm going to keep my luck, but I'm going to take a die out of that desperation pool to roll 2d6.
Yep. Can you move one of those die, or do you not have access to it?
Let me see. I don't think I have access to it.
All right. Well, I'm just going to grab it and move it to the left. That means it's now.
Okay.
Well, that's not my pool. It's just out of the pool. All right. So you guys go ahead and roll. So this one, instead of being successes, there's an outcome depending on what you roll.
Oh, I got a 3.
So Max Robinson, this is actually just totaled up. You're not looking for successes. So you got a total of a 3, Max.
Yeah.
So a 3 is a failure.
Yeah.
Character is frightened enough that any action that doesn't pertain to fleeing the menace suffers a -2 modifier. You gain 1 trauma. So under trauma, put down a 1.
Okay.
All right. Now Jeremy rolled a 6. Success. You're shaken, but otherwise affected.
That's excellent.
So
It
it is
just
a
so
sight.
happens. One of my dramatic hooks is I'm too stupid to be scared.
Perfect. George rolled a 4. Is also a failure. So anything not pertaining to fleeing what you're seeing suffers a modest -2 modifier. You can still do other things. It just suffers a -2. And you gain 1 trauma. Now, was that everybody? That was everybody.
I think I'm just going to take the longest drag I can off of this cigarette to sort of calm my nerves a bit and then say, hey, how you doing?
All right. Chuck, how are you reacting? Or how's Max reacting?
Well, I got that grand total of 3. Oh shit! I've seen some shit, but never like this. I want to run. I want to turn around and run.
Run back the way you've come, or are you going to go in the direction you haven't been yet?
I'm going to turn around and go back the way I came.
All right. So Max turns and runs. Marco seems to be holding us cool so far. So what's Rex Dark doing?
Now listen here, little buddy. That little lady over there, her name's Bobby Joe. We know her. We're not liking what we're seeing. Now, you going to help us, or are you a problem?
Okay. And George. what are
I
you doing?
better go after that old timer there.
All right, you run for
Yeah,
it.
don't let him lose his booze.
Okay. So, Jeremy, so your character said that, and the creature's mouth doesn't move, but in your head, you hear it speak, and it even seems to kind of come from him. Sort of, kind of. You think more you're hearing it in your head than you are from the air, but he says, can you make her stop screaming? Why is she screaming?
Because you're cutting pieces of her.
And
So, I'm just going to throw this out there. You don't look like you're from around here. Maybe where you're from, you cut off little pieces. Like, you know what? The metal outside, it got cut and went right back together. Maybe that's how you guys work too. I don't know. But where we're from, when you cut a piece off, it stays off and it hurts really bad. So we scream when we get cut.
that makes no sense. Can you make her stop screaming?
Can you stop cutting her?
No. How would we collect information?
Did you, like we're
So Marco, you're hearing this too.
well,
Look, Dick Smack, you either stop with the cutting or I'll start with the cutting. You understand me, little whatever you are?
let's
Our
talk.
full biological profile can be downloaded. You don't need to cut me.
It ain't a matter of need. I want to.
You have desires to cut?
Yes. You.
He holds out his arm. And let's cut scenes for a moment. As Max is fleeing, you run right by the small prison that you're in. And again, the tiles and 5-foot sections are lighting up under your feet. And as you're running by, one of the tiles on the walls to your right kind of goes transparent without you getting too close to it. And behind that wall, there's this like 7-foot hulking reptilian creature. And as it sees you running by, it slams itself into that transparent window, and it actually shakes the metal a bit. And you see its mouth full of sharp razor teeth seem to be moving like it's trying to talk to you. You're still under the effects of terror, so I'm not going to make you roll another one. But yeah, it's run or take a -2 at another action.
No, this is the most fucked up zoo I've ever been in. I'm going to keep running.
Keep running. All right, good enough. So Rex, wait, that's Jeremy. George is Dan.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So George, yeah. So Max just continues to run down. You see this form behind there as well. But as you're not moving quite as quickly, you see the thing bang, actually making that see-through plate move, and it's motioning to you like, come here, come here.
What?
Well said.
I might hesitate for a second. I'm not necessarily going to come up close to it just yet.
Mm-hmm. Well, seeing that you're hesitating, it's kind of pointing over, and it's making motions like this.
You know you want to.
Do I remember where Bobby's cell was at?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do that on her cell.
Okay. So you turn around and then
I'm going to do this.
okay. You hear more banging on the window, which loses its transparency. You go back to Bobby Joe's, light up the panel again, and you move 1 5-foot section over. You put your hand on it, and the metal just kind of this is like flowing liquid. It just opens, and
Max,
you
come
can,
back.
Yeah, so it smells like sanitizer in here. It's got like a very strong alcohol kind of smell, but not the good kind of alcohol, like rubbing alcohol. And right now it's removing her left eye.
Oh,
It's
God.
putting it in a container. You notice there's no blood coming out or anything, though. The one eye, the one good eye, kind of looks over to you.
Like anything else I see in here, I can like operate on buttons and panels. And
There's all these metal arms coming out of the ceilings. They got like snake-like cables attached to them, but you don't see any kind of mechanics in the room at all, except for the chair that she's laying on and all these jars that it's collecting bits of her in.
Like,
So let's go back. Let's cut scenes here, and Rex, Dart, and Marco. Yes, the gray just kind of lays his arm out.
So while he's cutting you, you said something about downloading your information.
Of course, just ask the ship for the information.
And where would I do that? Like just general direction. Which way should I go? And just like look and like, meanwhile, I'm curiously looking to see if Marco actually does cut him.
It's like, is your
Marco's just kinda
species even
sitting-
sapient? How do you not understand the finer points of quantum theory? Marco, what are you doing?
Do I get him in the eye? Would that hurt him, you think?
I mean, he asked for it. So if that's follow your heart, Marco. Follow your heart.
Heart. Hey, there's a good idea. I'll try and grab the alien by the arm and stab him in the chest.
Okay, I'll tell you what. So since you're still kind of under the effects of fear, you're going to need to. I want you to make a check to be able to force yourself to do this. So normally that would start at 2d6, but you're a -2 because of the fear. Now, if you've got a
Oh no, I made a success on that fear roll.
Oh, you did make a success. Okay.
Yes.
My bad. Then you do it. So you want to stab him in the eye?
I want to stab him in the chest.
In the chest. Okay.
I assume he's got a heart.
You insert, and your blade sinks in full depth. There's no blood. There's no reaction from the creature.
Huh. You know, Rex, I think I'm having a nightmare.
But I'm here too. Mass
Please, can you
hallucination.
stop her from screaming? It's really starting to irritate the shit.
Stop cutting her. It's really easy. Stop cutting her and she'll stop screaming. I mean, we
you
couldn't
sure?
hear.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Okay.
just, you know what? Hey, maybe you need like like an Earthling liaison sort of thing here. Just Earthling 101. Don't cut us. I know it sounds crazy, but we don't like being cut.
How do we learn anything then? So we're
Talking.
going to cut the scenes, and all the mechanical arms just kind of retract to the ceiling until the ceiling is just completely smooth, and you're left in the room with Bobby Joe, who has one good eye. She's missing a left ear. She's missing all the fingers on her right hand.
Oh,
And
God.
she's staring at you with the one eye.
Let me see if I can get her off the table.
Okay. Well, she's not strapped down at all. Yeah, you lift her tiny frame up. She's just like really limp in your arms. She's like no muscle tone at all. You just pull her up and she just lolls.
Oh, that's weird.
Hmm.
What did they do to you, Mama Joe?
Yeah, there's no response. The one eye is kind of still kind of moving around, looking around the room, but otherwise she can't move her body. Transition scenes as Max continues to run, and then again another one of these transparent wall things just kind of open up. You know, you didn't even get that close to it. It's on the right. Behind this one is the statuesque, maybe 6'1", 6'2", but beautiful pale-skinned woman with long blonde hair that goes down past her hips. And as you're passing by, she just does this.
Okay, I might listen to this one.
Kind of Nordic features, you know, pale skin, pale hair, you know, very high cheekbones, beautiful blue eyes. And as you come in, there's just kind of just a small smile on her lips, and she kind of points, does this.
I'll follow directions.
Okay. Yeah. So you move over to the next 5-foot section. You put your hand on it. And again, the metal just kind of oozes away until it's just like an open doorway. And this really tall woman steps out, looks down at you, kind of pulls her hair to the side, bends down, and gives you a little kiss on the top of your head.
Well,
Naked as the day she was born. She starts
Oh.
walking down the corridor,
I don't
direction you were running.
think I took my heart pills today. Dear Lord, I want to. Oh, might have to sit down after that one. Overall,
Let's say this is enough of a change in scenery that you're not feared anymore.
Okay. I guess I'll follow her. She seems confident in where she's going.
Okay. You follow her down. And again, as these 5-foot squares light up below your feet. Bobby Joe in your arms. She is not responding. All the cut off pieces of her, there's no blood. And like the area that's cut, it's not even like ragged. It's completely smooth. Like she never had fingers, or she never had that ear, or there was never an eye in her head at all. It's just completely smooth,
Weird.
no scar.
Max, where are you at?
All right, so the alien, you still have that switchblade shoved into his chest there.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't.
Oh,
think of
she
this
stopped
before.
screaming.
Yeah.
Oh, it seems that you were right. What is pervert? Masher? What do these terms mean?
pervert? Well, sometimes people have. Does your species have intercourse, or do you bud?
You know what? Screw this noise. I'm out of here. Bunch of goddamn squares in the sky. I'm gonna
Yeah.
get my
Actually,
knife back.
I'm
Max,
gonna
where
follow
are you?
my
I
friend.
need your gun.
But I'm gonna follow my friend here. I just thought of something, and I can't believe I didn't think of it before. You know who does share information by cutting? The Russians. You just picked the wrong country. I forgot. It's the Russians who communicate by being cut. Americans don't like being cut, but Russians love being cut. You just landed in the wrong country. I'm so sorry.
Marco, which direction are you moving? Direction you haven't finished going down, or back the way you came?
Back the way I came. I'm going after Max. He's got a gun.
Okay.
He's got a shotgun.
That's true.
The little gray is following you, Rex. Still got this plate full of like various bottled liquids of some sort. Wait. If we can't cut, we need to know how to get other information. I have looked through your memory banks, which are very archaic. I now understand copulation. No, we are vat grown.
Oh, yeah. So, oh boy. Okay. Yeah. Tell you what. I can find you some stag films, and I'll teach you all about it. We just need to get back home, and then I will give you the finest crash course in the observation of copulation that you've ever had.
Your method of reproduction is completely and wholly inadequate.
Yeah, but sometimes it's like those weird little failings that makes it beautiful and fun, and yeah.
What is fun? And you feel this like someone sticking like fingers in your head, like it's just rifling through your brain like it was a filing drawer.
And basically he's just going to see the image of how I see myself. I actually have a dramatic hook of legend in his own mind.
Oh, okay. That's perfect.
Nice.
All of the action things that I wish I really was doing that I don't actually do.
So you interface lead structures with these Russians to create holes and make them cease to function. And this is fun.
Yes.
If you're moving the same way everyone else
Yeah,
is,
I will.
he's following you with this tray. Back in the room, Bobby Joe's head gets a little bit more mobility, and she just kind of lulls it over, and she's looking at you, George, with the one eye.
I figure I'm probably going to just kind of piggyback her because it's kind of getting on my nerves a little bit.
Okay. All right. So coming down the corridor, you see, Marco and Rex with that little gray creature following.
You make a new friend.
We got a new target. Where's that shotgun?
So you've got Bobby Joe over the shoulder. I'm going to say the direction. So the head is going, and so the alien says, "Oh, she's screaming again."
Can you put her back to normal somehow?
Yeah, actually,
Normal?
Are you able
like,
to put back?
She had like an eye and an ear and some fingers and is she making noises as she's screaming, or is this like
No, she doesn't seem to be screaming to you. Your species is so much easier to transport in pieces. There is a space consideration.
I imagine you could probably say that for anybody. but that's not how we work.
It looks confused for a moment. Meanwhile, Max, it looks like she knows her way around the ship a little bit as she is opening doors and you're quickly like going through before they shut. She's like paying you no more attention at all. And she comes into a room that's well lit. And in this room, like, I don't know, is Max an aficionado of sci-fi novels or sci-fi TV shows? Would Max know what a spaceship looks like?
No, he's more of a Western.
More of a
guy.
Western. Yeah, Cowboys versus Aliens hasn't been on the TV yet.
Yeah, it's a great
So there's
movie,
these
but not yet.
strange looking airplanes in here. But the thing that she's walking to very much looks like lockers to you. And she's going in and she's putting clothing on now. Looks like some kind of jumpsuit.
Oh, okay. You're getting dressed. That's appropriate. Can you tell me about all these funky looking airplanes? Those must be Russian design. I knew it. Only they do something this diabolical. Where's the gun turret on this thing? I'm going to take some down.
So she speaks, but she doesn't move her mouth. And you hear kind of in your head a voice that's very fitting the statuesque figure in front of you. You hear, "Why does your species flap your meat to talk?"
Oh, what the hell?
It's very uncivilized. You get
What?
particles in the air.
Well, I mean, that's why my ex-wife left me. Oh, well, you're not making face sounds here, and it's really disturbing.
Strange little man.
Okay.
Why were you taken prisoner? I don't think your species has a lot to add to their dreams of conquest.
I would presume the Russians took us prisoner because they hate America and freedom, and they're not going to conquest us because we're going to conquest them right back.
I find it very hard to follow you. Look, I'm going to steal a ship and I'm going to escape. Are you here on purpose or are you enslaved?
Well, I guess the second one, well, I'm not here on purpose. We're sitting there playing cards and there's a big old light in the sky and we were here, can you take me home?
Home.
Back to where I came from?
Which planet?
Earth?
Earth.
America?
We can
Kentucky.
sort that later. You'll need a suit. She just kind of points in to one of the lockers.
Okay. Yeah, it's not the weirdest thing I've done today. Might as well.
Okay. While you're doing that, she seems to be checking out these strange airplanes. The rest of you guys, you are now passing by that transparent window that's got this hulking reptile-looking lizard thing that's just slamming onto this transparent metal, and it's shaking.
So what's his deal? He looks like how I kind of feel, I think.
Oh, a very aggressive species. We've learned much from them.
So if I let him out, that'd be all right.
Why would you let them out?
I don't
They do
know.
great amounts of destruction. Their kind we can't cut up for easier transportation as their limbs regrow into another complete species, and we only want the one.
Oh, you see, ours don't. Like when they're off of us, they just stay off of us, and it makes us very sad.
Sad.
Well, in case this thing backfires and opens up, how do we close it again?
I don't think it will allow you to let it back into its cage.
What is it?
Disorient.
The do? What?
It points to the lizard that's slamming against the transparent wall.
Oh, no. No, you're probably right about that. What do you got in your little tray there?
These blood samples from the other species aboard. I was coming to take your samples,
Oh, I'd prefer if you didn't.
but we need to.
Nah, it's okay. You don't need to do that.
How else would we know how to control your species?
See, that seems like something a Russian would say.
You keep speaking of these Russians.
And you keep sounding like one of them.
Are they also grays?
No, they're reds.
They're red instead.
Martians, then.
Maybe.
It would make
Wait a minute.
sense.
You're not Martian?
No. Mars is colonized in your system. We come from far beyond your system.
Hmm.
As do the Nords, and as he points to the other creature there, as do they.
So if I let him out, is he gonna be more pissed at you or pissed at us?
He thinks for a moment. Likely it will try to destroy the vessel. And as you are on board the vessel, and I don't believe that your genetics will allow you to survive in the vacuum of space, likely this will be bad for you as well.
Yeah, it sounds bad.
So we're not allowed to draw blood. How about a
Tell you what,
probe?
though, I know
We
an
can
easy
get what
way.
we need from a probe.
No, you know what? I know an easy way to get you a semen, stool, and urine sample. Just take my underwear.
You can get all of the things you want at one time.
It thinks on it for a moment. I don't think that will be a large enough sample. I'm afraid the ship is asking for me to expedite things now. So please, which of you will allow me to either probe or remove several ounces of fluid from your body?
Can I just spit in a tube?
It shrugs and hands you a tube.
I can pee on you if that's what you want, buddy.
Oh, that sounds even better. Not like
Max,
Daddy.
you're all suited up in this skin tight silver uniform, and it's got a big like fish dome helmet that she's now helping you put on.
I would like to say, I take my overalls off, get in the suit, put my overalls back on over it.
Nice.
Got to be overall.
Yeah. Listen, I don't know about where you come from, but these bits get me yelled at church, so I got to keep them covered.
She looks at you quizzically for a moment, and then you feel like, again, this is new for your character, but you feel like someone has just like sunk fingers into your brain and just kind of rifling through your brain like it was a filing cabinet. Oh, so your species has very dramatic ways to procreate, I see.
Dramatic.
And a great deal of shame involved in the whole situation.
Yes, it's a fantastic mixture of shame and joy. It's a roller coaster. Roller coaster.
That's a pity. You do have some genetic advantages, it seems.
Oh, see, I'm not so bad. I'll tell you what, is there a Mr. Tall Ass Blonde?
Feel the rifling through your head again. Oh, no, our species doesn't have what you consider to be the male of the species.
Oh my gosh, take me to where you're at. I got work to do.
On a diplomatic mission.
Right. Yeah, okay, so the rest of you guys are still standing outside of this reptoid's cell, who seems to be getting very angry that you're not doing something to help it out here.
So is the alien, like, while the alien's looking at George trying to spit in the vial, I just kind of like look at him like,
Yeah, it nods at you and is like,
And I'll kind of like do the motion for like eating and point at the gray.
Okay, yeah, you do it. And the thing roars out of the cell, kind of pushing all of you aside. And it just devours the gray, like the little arms and feet go squirting out of the side. It just eats it in one gulp.
Wow, that was really cool.
Turns around to look at you. What planet are you from? You're very strange. Again, this is all in your head. Mouth doesn't move at all.
You might call it Earth. We call it
Earth.
Earth.
I am not familiar with that planet. Are you a conquered planet?
Not
I
yet.
don't think so. The Russians haven't beat us yet.
And do not know this Russian species of which you speak. They sound formidable.
Quite.
This is a drone ship. It's taking us to their planet. We need to evacuate before we arrive, or the worms will consume your brain function centers.
That sounds like a bad thing for me and us.
Well, how about, do you know how to get off of this thing?
I'm sure there are ships somewhere aboard. I'm contemplating devouring you. I'm still very hungry.
Space cars.
I'd prefer.
We
if you
gotta
didn't.
hotwire a space car.
Our other friend did go that way.
Is he worth devouring?
I mean, I'd prefer if you didn't.
Honestly,
I could
if
get-
you did,
Here,
it'd probably
try
taste a little funky
try
at this
some
point.
of this,
But
and I'll offer him the Everclear.
Oh, you
Nice.
okay? It just eats the whole bottle.
Oh my god, my liquor!
Fascinating. It has a burn going down.
You know what? There's more where that came from if you can get us back home.
Home.
it just
Sure.
get us to the space cars. Come on.
This way. Did you happen to see and again, all of you feel the rifling through your brains, tall, naked, blonde woman,
I wish.
I mean,
likely considered to be a female of your species, but oddly tall?
if I had, I would remember. But no.
It is best if we leave that one behind.
Oh yeah, well you should show us where she's at so we know which one to avoid.
It seems her cell is empty as you're passing by the cell.
Is she up on the crazy and hot scale, where she's definitely crazy? I don't know if the crazy hot scale existed back then or whatever it's called.
You feel your brain being rifled through. Definitely not the sort that you would like to put your reproductive organ in more than once.
Wait, you get reproduction.
Finally, now
Shrugged
we're
at that.
talking to a guy who gets us.
Try anything once.
This guy gets it.
Eat
I'll
a
hand
bottle of Everclear or
I'll
whatever,
hand
you
him
know.
the
Just
bottle of vodka. There's one more.
So
We'll pass it around so we can all get a drink of it before he eats it.
he puts a clawed talon out and kind of punctures the cheerleader a few times. Can you make this one stop screaming?
Oh, they took a bunch of parts from her, and that hurts us and makes us unhappy. I don't hear it, but I imagine with your brain things you'd be doing, you probably do, and maybe we just bonk her in the head.
Can I just eat this one?
I mean,
at
I
this
know
point,
who
The
Maybe
gray
it'd be
remote
better
units
for
are
us,
flavorless. They produce no caloric value.
I mean, there was this one guy who seems happy he's here. Maybe you could go eat him.
Yeah.
I will require sustenance for the voyage. We
He's
checked
big.
into this.
Oh yeah, he's a huge dude. Yeah, he'll last you a couple bites.
Yes,
He
Earth.
thinks he belongs here, and it seems like this is a bad place for us. So
He has been through conditioning. Warning, Earthlings.
Yes, that. Mm-hmm.
Earthlings. The ship has been alerted to our departure of cells. Soon, a force will arrive to put us back into cells, likely to put your individual pieces into canisters for better storage and
That's what they're doing to
security.
her.
So, for those of us who aren't able to swallow one of those grays whole, what's the best way to kind of put them down?
Dismemberment. They do not die per se.
Okay. All right. That is good to know.
Well, let's go grab our friend, your snack, and let's be on our way then.
I'll need my coat back, but we can leave Charlene, or he could eat Charlene.
We can eat Charlene too.
We'll pick up the scene where Max is all dressed up with his overalls on the outside of a spacesuit. He's about to climb into what looks like some kind of odd fighter plane, some kind of aircraft with a strikingly beautiful, tall Amazonian woman. And as they're about to close off the canopy to the ship, your lizard friend points and says, "We can't let that one escape."
Hey, no, I wouldn't. Would I even hear that?
I mean, it's all in your head, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. It actually, you hear it in your head. The woman kind of turns around and sees the lizard too. And you see her eyes kind of furrow, eyebrows kind of move.
Hey, she's cool. She's taking me back to her place. Everything's fine here. Don't fuck this up for me.
He said she's real high on the crazy scale.
Yeah. Same.
You know what? Yeah, he's fine. Can we have your shotgun, Max?
No. Come with me. We're going to a great place.
You guys start hearing like a siren in the back of your head. Again, it's just like in your head. You don't hear it with your ears at all. Lizard friend looks around and picks up what looks like it's a large metal tool. He kind of hefts it in his hands as Tess swings it around.
I'll tell you what. You guys go with the lizard man back to Earth, and you tell them that they're all a bunch of squares and they can suck it. I'll go with Max to make sure he's safe on the tall naked bimbo planet. All right.
We should all find a shuttle. It is unfortunate that your friends wish to go with the Nord, but to each his own.
Come on, Marco.
What's wrong with the Nords?
As you ask that, the surgical arms that you saw in the one room start coming out of the ceiling, but now they look like they're very much armed with things that look not too happy to your own genetic makeup. As they start, like, there's like a little click, and one of them has like a flame burst out. It's like a little flamethrower. One of them has a buzzsaw. Several of them have knife hands, and they're all on these little gantries that move very quickly, and they come in to surround you. So Max, you're already in the ship. The hood is falling down on top of you. You got to be really cozy inside here. The cockpit is very small. You're actually sitting on her lap. She's much larger than you as far as height goes. And so the engine starts and this little shuttle rumbles. The rest of you, your reptilian friend points to the lockers and says, "You won't survive without spacesuits. My species will be fine. I will try and hold them off. Help if you can." And he rushes in and starts beating these mechanical arms with this tool that he found. What are the rest of you guys doing?
I guess I'll see about putting on a spacesuit and see if there's something I can find here that can help me out. Maybe if he knocks an arm apart or something, I can pick up a thing from him.
So you're going for the spacesuit.
Check out this
primarily.
glass helmet. It's perfect for my hair. Yeah, nice.
Mark, yeah, so it doesn't touch your hair at all. It's wonderful. Marco's also going for a spacesuit. Jeremy, what's your character doing?
Well, it's time for this hapless idiot to do what idiots do best, to die in style.
Okay,
I'm
so
going to join the lizard in battle.
Okay.
I need to make sure I do everything I can to give them every opportunity to get out of here.
Let's go ahead and do initiative then. So initiative is 2d6 plus an extra d6 if you have either nimble or perceptive as your specializations. If you have both, it's plus 2 more d6.
So I've got nimble, so it'd be 3d6 if I have nimble.
Yes. 4 if you have both nimble and perceptive.
Me being in the ship, do I need to roll or?
Yeah, we'll say that she will act on your roll. I'd rather have you roll.
Okay. So
Are we all rolling it?
you said 3d6 is the base?
2d6 is the base,
Okay.
plus 1d6 if you have nimble or perceptive, plus 2 of those if you have both.
Yeah. I have perceptive.
Okay. All right. So they got 2 successes for the ship's initiative. How did you do, Chuck?
12.
Well, it's successes. So one success. Okay. Sounds good. And how about you, Jake? What did you get?
1 success.
1 success. Okay. Dan?
I'm trying to remember. 5 is not a success.
5 and 6s are successes.
Okay, 1 success then.
1 success. Jeremy?
1 success.
1 success. So they go first, and I'm going to have the lizard guy go on your success since you were tag teaming things. All right. So here's what's going to happen, Jeremy. They got 2 successes. You need to defend.
Okay.
To defend, you make a pool starting at 2d6, and you can add in, give me a second here, under attacks. You roll a number of dice equal to your fight skill, plus 1d6 if you have the nimble or strong specialization, 2d6 if you have both, plus your standard 2d6.
Okay. So I would currently have 3 that I can roll.
Right. So it scored 2 successes. So you need to do at least 2 successes.
I would like to spend some attribute points to add on to that dice pool.
Okay. Go ahead and burn down whatever attributes you want, and you can add directly to his pool.
I will burn down 3 physical.
Wow. Okay. So
wow,
add
so
3 more d6 to that.
Oh my. So that'll be 66. Let me go down to here. Oh, sorry. I did that wrong. 66. There we go. Well, that's 2.
2.
Okay. So you are successfully able to keep the pincers, the flamethrowers, all the stabbing blades at bay, while your 2 other friends are able to get into their spacesuits. So that's that round. We keep initiative through the round unless something happens to change how people would go. So next round they would go again, but 2 of you have spacesuits on. Jeremy, you don't, and your alien friend here says he doesn't need one. Okay. Actually, you can act. Everyone else's action was to put on spacesuits. Chuck, your action would be she starts up some controls on the computer, and the bottom beneath your ship kind of just irises open, and you look out, and you didn't realize it that you were in motion for one thing, because you didn't feel it through the ship. But you look out, and you're just looking into the void of space, and your ship starts to slowly drop through this hole.
Okay, down periscope? I don't. What do you say in a situation like this?
She rifles through your head, and she comes up with the phrase, I think in more time you use the saying, hold on to your titties, kitty.
That's it. That's it.
Okay, so Jeremy, if you want to attack back in rage, you can.
Yeah.
Or you can do something else.
I'll take out my tiny little hidden sidearm. Like, Americans wouldn't have a PP7, but whatever my tiny little.
Yeah, tiny little
Colt.
little cannon.
Probably got a Colt 45.
Yeah. It's like maybe one of the little things that came down that just barely missed me. I'll hold on to it and I'll just shoot randomly into the mass of things.
The roll is almost exactly the same as you rolled to defend.
Okay.
It's your fight. If you've got either of those specializations I pointed out, you can add another one to it. Remember, you've got this whole pool of dice over here that you can pull up from as well.
if I'm shooting, can I add my shoot to it?
If you're shooting instead, yeah, you shoot instead of fight. Interesting thing about shooting. Shooting is not a versus roll. So you don't get to defend against someone shooting at you. It's the skill of the shooter. So it's actually much easier and much more lethal to shoot at someone than it is to punch someone.
Well, I want to shoot. So that'll get me up to 4 dice. And so long as I only take 1 out of the pool, I don't add to the...
Right, you don't add to my pool.
I'll take 1 out of the pool and roll 5d6.
Okay, and add 1 more for your reptilian helper, who's going to try and keep them off of you as you shoot.
Nice. I say nice, and I roll 20s being a bit difficult for me. All right, I'll just roll the 5d6 first because it'll at least let me do that, and then I'll do 1 more.
Oh, only 1 success.
Only 1 success on all those dice.
But 1 success is enough to succeed. It just doesn't do extra damage. So I'm going to say your little gun. Let's see what I call this. I put a little weapons list in here too. Let's call it. Oh, we'll call it 1 down from like a ray gun. So it's going to do a damage rank 3. So what happens is it needs to roll now, and it needs to get at least 1 success. Actually, it has to. Right, I'm getting confused. Sorry, it has to roll its life dice. Now it's got to roll 3 dice, because that's the amount of damage you can potentially do. And what happens is for every success it doesn't make, it loses that many dice. Okay, so it loses 2 of its health dice and made 1 success. So that was actually a very good round for you. It damaged the ship. Some of the arms start to buzz, catch fire, fall off of the ceiling. Your reptile man is helping to keep them at bay as you continue to shoot. So the next round, they go first again. They are going to retaliate. And I'm going to spend... I don't have any. Can't spend anything. So... they are going to shoot the flamethrower. So there's no verses on this. I make 1 success, so it is successful. I'm treating the lizard guy as basically an additional aid for you. Okay. So what's going to happen here is you need to roll. Flamethrower is probably going to be 3 dice. So roll 3 of your life dice. Do you have 3 dice to roll?
I do, yes.
Okay, so roll 3 dice.
Okay. Eek.
Oh,
Like there's 1 success at least.
1 success. Okay, 1 success. And I'm going to say, since he was defending you, he takes the brunt of that. So he's going to lose the 2 dice of life rather than you. So yeah, you smell like cooked gator. Smells a lot like frog legs. As this he steps in front of the flamethrower and he takes the brunt of it. You feel a bit of screaming and snarling in the back of your head. And it's your guy's turn.
All right. Maybe with all these parks getting knocked down and stuff like that, I can try and put something together and attack it back.
Sure. You want to get a piece of debris and help attack?
Yeah.
You're all kitted up. You're ready to go. You see another one of these ships around, but of course you have no idea how to fly it. Might be intuitive, but you want to attack?
Yeah, I was hoping to maybe use crafty.
Sure, go for it. Go ahead and attack the ship. I'm going to say what you find is melee, though, so it will be able to defend. So you find some stuff to smash the ship with.
All right. I'll go ahead and spend 1 from the pool.
Okay.
And then 1 from my physical. So does that bring me up to 5d6?
Yeah, sounds right.
All right. Dun-dun.
1 success. All right. Since it can defend, let's first of all go ahead and roll its dice to find out. 6. It does not defend.
Hooray!
So you essentially got one success margin, meaning you don't do any extra damage. You just do the damage of the weapon that you have. And we're going to call that basically a club is what you found. And a club would do, let's see here, a knife, hatchet, or small gun, crowbar. Crowbar sounds good. Damage rank 2. So it has to roll 2 of its life dice. So the way this works is the more lethal the damage, the more of your life dice you have to roll. Therefore, the more of it you're risking. Right? Okay. So it rolls 2 dice for each success it makes. It doesn't lose a die. If it doesn't make any successes, which it doesn't, it loses 2 more life dice. So you make this mighty swing. You break off one of the arms, but more importantly, you get a good solid hit on like the ship's hull, which you didn't think would do anything. But there's a big crack that forms in the wall that you hit. Apparently, using the ship's own material against it, very effective.
Nice.
All
There's
right.
some accidental thinking right there.
Marco, after you've decided that this helmet perfectly fits, you've probably got a pompadour.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and the silver slick spacesuit actually doesn't look bad on you at all. It's form-fitting. Spaceship is right there. I mean, how much different from a hot rod could it be?
I'm about to find out. I'm going to hop in that sucker and try to get it started.
All right, so let's have a roll to figure out and see if you can figure out how the spaceship works. So it's a base 2d6. If you got a skill that you think would help you here, add that in.
I'm making a differentiation between drive, which I have, and pilot, which I do not. So,
he doesn't have wheels, but you can drive it. I'll take drive, man. That's fine. That's kind of your
all
shtick.
right.
You can add luck. You can add any of the points in the pool that are still on the table. If you think you have an edge that would help. So what's your edge?
Greaser. It's just my entire life. I'm all about cool.
You're trying to look
cool cars
good.
and
You're
stuff.
trying to look cool.
Yeah.
What's more cool than a spaceship? Go ahead. You can add it.
Exactly. I'm going to flying my space car to a planet full of babes, of course.
Right. So I'm going to say this is difficult. So you're going to need 3 successes. So you decide how many you're going to roll in your pool here and what resources you're going to use. Remember, you can burn attributes. In the case where you're burning it on a roll, you need to pick an attribute that would make sense. So you probably mental or physical would work on this one.
All right. Yeah, I'll burn 1 mental then, and I'll also burn all 3 of my luck.
All right.
Can I burn my luck to help him?
You can. That's one of the things you can do as a supportive.
I'll drop my 4 luck on there.
Okay.
4. And then I'll take 2 from the pool just for funsies.
We got some bits coming in too. I'm trying to remember what we decided to do with our bits. I think he's
There's an extra
I'll
die.
use
There's 4 extra dice on the board from Captain Curran.
he just
I'll take
dropped,
one of them.
200 more. So
Yep.
Oh,
Okay.
and I'll take those 2. All right.
Go ahead, roll it.
So there's that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So we're looking for 3 successes here.
All right, so 22 dice. Here we go.
oh, you got a chance.
Bam.
6 successes, and then the tragedy die, whatever you want to call it, is clean and clear. You make this spaceship purr, man. You figure it out. It is this is a hot rodded space machine. You're pretty sure this will go faster than anything you've ever put your lead foot on before. If you want to let anyone know that you got it under your control, you're welcome to do so.
I'm just going to howl victoriously. I got it.
Nice.
All right. Chuck. So she is looking up some space charts, and she's saying that, it looks like your solar system is quite far from where we are. I don't think this vessel can get us there. We are more close to my system.
Let's go there.
Okay. So she starts pumping in coordinates. So I figured this is going to take another round for her to do. Do you want to do anything else? I mean, it's really tight corners in here. You're looking around.
I don't think I can do anything. Like I'm just along for the ride at this point.
Okay. If you're just looking around, there's something that looks suspiciously like, at least to your mind, being a war veteran and all, like a gantry system for a gun.
Oh, I'll go check that out.
Okay. Why don't we do the same thing here as far as figuring out if you can use this thing? So it's base 2 dice.
Yeah.
If you've got a skill at shooting things, that would help.
I don't.
And then anything you want to pay from your attributes. This would probably be a physical one.
Okay.
Kind
I'll
of manhandling it around.
tell you what.
Captain has made it rain with a whole bunch of stuff there.
Holy crap. So I'll take his 5 dice. So I get to roll 2 base, his 5 dice. And I think I'll call that good. So 6 dice altogether.
Okay.
So I hit 6. I got a success. I
A
got 2
single
successes.
Okay.
With
2 successes.
one of the setback dice or whatever they're called.
Oh no, that one doesn't count unless it rolls a 1 for anything. So you made one
Okay.
success. So you don't do extra damage, but the base damage for the gun that's on this thing, it's like you figure it out. Amazingly, it's very much like the Coppola gunner on one of the World War II planes. It's like, I know how to use this thing. And you light up the underside of the ship that you're departing. So I'm going to say this is probably, we'll call it saucer gun, probably a 4.
Okay.
So this thing will have to roll 4 of its life dice. It got 2 successes, but it does drop 2 more life dice down. Inside, you guys, the ship where it was like even moving, of course, you guys inside don't know that it's been moving, but it's been incredibly smooth. You haven't really felt anything except for when you touched it with your bare hand to feel that vibration. You guys can kind of feel it kind of lurching, and it seems to be, it must be revolving or something, because you guys are actually starting to feel kind of a wobble now on the inside.
I just assume it's the engine. And I'm just, oh man, this is great.
All
I
right.
think I want one of those suits now.
Yeah, get the suit. Let's get out of here.
All right, so it's next round. We still don't have a good reason to reinitiate, so it's going to go first. 6, 2 successes, and that's going to be against both Rex, George, and your reptile friend. So all of you need to go ahead and roll. Well, it's doing shooting attacks now. It's using its flamethrowers and lasers. So you guys don't get to roll against it. You just have to roll your life dice. So
man.
2 life dice. It didn't get enough to do extra damage. Well, actually, I'm sorry. 1, 2. It did get extra damage. 3 life dice. It got 1 more success than it needed to hit you, which means 1 more die of damage.
I almost didn't make it.
Jeremy, nice. You only lose 1 life die. So drop down both your vitality and the other stat that's linked with it by 1, which limits the number of dice you can roll for your life now. And George, 1 success. You drop by 2. Do you still have any life dice?
I've got 1.
Then you're still up and healthy.
George Jorgensen.
Oh, okay. So the reptile guy, however, takes a mortal wound, and as he goes down, and he's like, he reaches out to his mind, through the mind, and it was Dan's character. I think the question you asked before you were under attack was what?
I'm
What's wrong with that species or something like that?
Oh yeah. What's wrong with the shoot? What are they called?
Nords.
The
Yeah.
Nords.
Oh yeah, okay. So with his dying breath, he answers your question. Warrior species friend, my last breaths, I tell you, your friend must watch his ass. Their species intermingle with themselves. Your species, well, he dies. Smell of burning lizard all over the spaceship. Unfortunately, he did not survive, but the rest of you clinging on to the last of life. It is your turn now. Your friends got spaceship up and purring. You're taking this round to get yourselves in the chutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Everybody's in a suit but Rex.
Yeah, that's what I
Rex.
was. Instead of attacking last round, I was doing the suit.
Okay, so everybody's in a suit, so you're going to pile in. So I tell you what we're left then is Marco, pilot this thing out of here, man.
All right. How many more dice have we got in that pool?
Well, there's a ton of dice on the board you guys
Use
still
them
haven't
all.
used. I
Use
mean,
them
it will
all.
give me dice to use too if you use more than one. But
I gave you 2 dice earlier, so
out of the pool on the table, you took 2 out of that.
yeah.
Then I
Yep.
just got 1. I just got 1,
Oh,
not
okay.
2. Yeah, it's anything over 1 that you use. It puts
5, 6,
1 in mine.
8. I will spend the remaining 8 dice in this pool because this is the big one.
It is. It's totally worth
Yeah.
it.
So I get 7.
Oh,
Let's see. What all other dice has Captain Kyrian got for us?
I think
Well,
we spent them all.
Chuck
just now.
used all the last 5 that were spent, but I think there were still 2 more from earlier that weren't spent. I'm going to say there's
Okay.
at least 2.
that
And
sounds
remember,
Alright.
if you have luck left and you can burn down attributes, in this case, physical
Oh,
attribute
gosh.
would be
It just
worth.
just bought 5 more.
Jeez. The captain apparently wants you guys to survive.
Oh,
so that's
my.
5 dice.
All right, so I'm going to spend my last physical attribute, and I'm going to tack on those 5 there, and we'll see what
Okay.
18 dice can get for me.
Oh
so
my
this,
word.
This is going to be a versus to see. So you go ahead and roll first. We'll see how this
Oh,
works
no.
out.
You better save those dice for Snoosu against
Whoa.
Max.
9 successes and
Oh my
nothing
gosh.
bad on your tragedy die.
wow.
All right, so the ship nearly dead itself is going to use its big guns to try and cut both you and the Nord ship down before you're able to depart. So this is going to be a versus here. That's your maneuver. 9 successes is pretty tight. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 96 from what you just gave me, and it's got a base 2 only because it's near dead. So I've got 11 dice. Oh wow! 1, 2, 3 successes only. So you totally, you're actually both of your ships are going. Now here's the question though. You don't actually know where you are, Marco. Like you're free. You're in this snazzy spaceship. You're in the middle of space. You don't see a planet nearby, let alone anything you could call Earth. You're just kind of in the void of space. That other spaceship with your friend in it, he's got he's in the gunner's cupola there, giving you the thumbs up. They're heading in a direction.
I'll follow them.
All right. So you guys get away. You get away from aliens who sought to harvest your genetics. Since nobody really said anything, I'm assuming you just left the cheerleader behind somewhere.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I guess I didn't ever like put her in a suit. So
You just
Yep.
set her down and forgot her.
I'll just be 1 second, no problem.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
So yeah, the credits will roll as we
Oh my.
as you guys go
As the
off into
heroes
space.
make their getaway.
The heroes make their getaway.
to get death by Snoosu.
And we have the cutscene at the very end after the credits roll. Max is enjoying some time with his Nord aboard the ship when he finds out that your sexual reproduction organs are a little bit different for their species.
Uh-oh.
And Max fears for his bottom end.
Oh, no.
Leave there. Credits roll. All right, guys. So yeah, there we go. Sci-fi horror schlock. This Defiant Earth. It's a pretty neat system. I like the life die that you roll. So like you get a chance to resist using those, but you get the attrition. Over time you're going to lose some of your dice off of that. Yeah, I mean overall, what do you guys think of the system?
It was good. I enjoyed
Pretty
it.
interesting.
It was
That
fun.
was fun.
Light also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys get a lot of chances because you get all of those pools. You get your luck pools. You get to burn down your tributes, which honestly, I'm hoping the GM book has a little bit more talking about that because there doesn't seem to be a downside to burn your tributes down to 0 other than you're just out of extra points.
Yeah.
The GM's guide might talk more about that as the player's guide is just kind of the quick start to the system.
Okay.
So there might be a little bit more to it. What we didn't see a lot of is when you attack and you get more successes than are needed, each one of those extra successes is an extra die of damage your weapon does above
Okay.
its base. So it can get really dicey if you roll really well.
Okay.
It does seem like it's maybe not meant for very long game?
It can be. There's actually 2 modes of playing it. Of course, we played the one shot. There is a campaign playing mode, which tweaks a few things in it.
Okay.
The player's guide doesn't talk about if your character's advanced, but since there is a campaign mode, I'm expecting the GM's guide is going to have some more stuff in there.
Nice.
So, despite the rather crude story I told tonight, I think it's a solid system. It's pretty neat. I'd like to circle back to this at some point after I grab the GM's guide and see what else can be done with it. Dice pool system uses a D6. Also, what never came up was that extra die that gets rolled, that D6. That kind of wild die there. If you've ever played any of the D6 systems from West End Game, like even Ghostbusters kind of had that too. You had that extra die you rolled, and if you rolled a 1 on it, some bad thing happened. Never came up tonight.
Okay, that's for us.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Hope
this was
those
fun.
out there who watched didn't become too sickened with the plot line. And let's go ahead and just do our exits here. Jeremy, you got anything to plug?
Yeah, check out Black Blizzard. It's funded. They've already gotten the first test copy printed of the comic. Second and third are already being worked on. It's pretty cool.
Very good. Yeah, back that one myself. Dan, you got anything?
Come check out our Discord, where we hang out and chat about games or memes and other things like that. Stop in, hang out.
Cool. Jake?
I've got a message here that I'd like to give from one of our sponsors. The emollients of yesteryears past have softened skin for generations, but why rely on outdated oils and creams when a whole new line of skincare is waiting for you in the nuclear age? Introducing Chemicore's Plutonium Jelly. A single application can soften your skin for up to 6 weeks and help maintain personal visibility on the darkest of summer nights. So go nuclear on dryness today with Plutonium Jelly from Chemicore. Do not apply to wounds, sores, cracks, rashes, fingernails, hair, or orifices.
Perfect. Chuck, what you got, Chuck?
Oh, you're on the channel, Defenders of Cobalt. You found us. Come back Friday. We're going to be running All Fear of the Ishtar. It's going to be the end of Chapter 1. Then after that, we're going to kick over to a Pathfinder 2nd Edition campaign for a little bit. Eventually, we'll come back to All Fear of the Ishtar. We'll kind of tell those chapters in chunks. Also, next week, this time slot, we're going to be starting up an additional Pathfinder 2nd Edition campaign. I guess it'll be the first. It'll start first. So yeah, we'll have 2 Pathfinder 2 campaigns going on the channel.
Cool. And I run my own channel, twitch.tv/SteamSteelMurder. I am only an honorary kobold.
Bert, you can be a full kobold if you want to. You've been here long enough.
Yeah, I've made my belt. I'm now official kobold. Okay,
There you
cool.
go.
But I'm also at twitch.tv/SteamSteelMurder. We stream on Tuesdays, 1st edition Dungeons and Dragons, Fridays, BX Dungeons and Dragons, or just BX OSR systems in general. We do some one-shots on there. This Sunday is going to be our first session of GURPS Traveler, which should be nice and fun. And I believe this Saturday I'm running Umerica.
Yep.
On the official Goodman Games channel for our nice little street food contest that's going on there. And check out the podcast at Blue Magic, BLUMAGIK.com. There's years and years and years and years of podcasting goodness on there. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for all the bits, Captain.
Yeah. Hang on, I didn't get that set up. My gosh, where did it go?
We're still live.
We're still alive.
No, stop.
All right, goodbye.